Okay, we are now live. It is Sunday, April 3rd at almost 4 Eastern PM. I'm Pierre Roberge, the Daily Trader, and I am doing these live every weekend for my members, but once a month, like today, I do them for the public. So this is why, if you are not a member, you can still see this. Okay, so let me just adjust something on my live stream. I'm gonna upload the thumbnail that will make this look a little bit nicer. Boom, like this. Okay, and why is this not moving? I should have a little bit of a post too. Okay, going live now. I'm gonna do a post. It would be nice if I could do this beforehand. Going live now. Okay. Okay, that's about does it. That's about does it. Let me just check this here. Yeah, since it's public, it's gonna I will monetize the heck out of it. Okay, hey, good evening, Paramixa. Greetings. Oh, you're from Germany. I didn't know that. Guten Tag. Guten Morgen. Not sure. Okay, so this is great. So let's start right now. So what we are going to do today is look at the Tesla stock from a technical analysis perspective. So the thinking here is that we are not going to look at the news too much because, as we know on this channel, the news does not translate in stock movement. Always. It does not always translate in stock movement. So we are not looking at the news per se. We are looking at the patterns that the stock is doing. Guten Abend. So case in point right here, January 26th, this was when Tesla released their earnings and revenues. And we had the great surprise, positive surprise, 7.5% more earnings than what was estimated. And in terms of revenues, $500 million more revenues than estimated. This was right here on this candle here. So, well, I mean, the news came out in the evening. So the next morning, what did happen? The stock fell like crazy. It opened right here and fell down like crazy, and then went sideways and then went super, super low. So that's news for you guys. So this was a great news for Tesla, but it didn't pan out. So news don't always pan out. So that's why we are looking at the patterns that the stock is doing. And what is the pattern that the stock has done in the past? Well, there was, let me just change this here. There was this pattern like here, this pattern, which meant stock is going down. And the stock indeed was going down. And we broke that pattern, and now we are in a little bit of a move up. So this is what we are looking at every single day of the weekday. Every single day of the week, I do a Tesla and Palantir video where I look at where the stock is going. I don't tell you when to buy and when to sell, but if you listen, if you understand what I'm saying, and if you see my lines, my trend lines and everything, you can figure this out for yourself. So, okay, so Tesla closed at 1084.59 last week, up $6.99. So basically, the stock is in a congestion zone between 1054.69 and 1116.02. So the stock is stuck between these two lines. So this is what we call a congestion zone. So we came out of that downward resistance. A resistance is just a line that delimitates where the stock does not go above. So we crossed that quite strongly. We crossed that quite strongly, and we also had this smaller downward channel. So if you had been listening to my channel, then you would have entered pretty much at 866, and now you would have a good $200 a share on paper or in your pocket. So so we are awaiting. No, I will talk about that in a few seconds. So this is what the Tesla stock has been doing in the past. So this is the past 2 years. So Tesla is moving in 3 different channels: channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, just like a TV station. And now we came out of even channel 1 for a while, and now we came back into it, and now we are in channel 2. And yeah, pretty much right in the middle of channel 2. So this is the support here of channel 2, if you see my giant mouse pointers. And so this is the support of channel 2, this is the resistance of channel 2, and we are also within a congestion zone between the two. Okay, let's look at what happened a little bit here in terms of the news. So the last news, so on April 2nd, so that was Friday. No, sorry, that was yesterday. So yesterday, Tesla mentioned in the first quarter of 2022, we produced over 305,000 vehicles and delivered over 310,000 vehicles, despite ongoing supply chain challenges and factory shutdowns. Yeah, because you know, the factory in Shanghai has been closed for a couple of days for COVID. Bonsoir, Luca. So yes, so 310,000 deliveries. So this is the information that we got. Is this a good number? Is this a bad number? So it's always interesting to see what analysts will say about this. It's very interesting to see. So let's look at this in context. Oh, sorry, I'm not showing anything. Oh, what is up? Okay, sorry. Oh. So you were seeing this, but you're not seeing my chart here. So let me try to fix this. I'm still not very good at this Ecamm Live thing. Yes, let me see. Yeah, this is okay. Yes, I'm gonna share. You see this now. Okay. So yes, very good numbers compared to other vehicle companies. Yes. So at the last quarter of Q4 in 2021, Tesla delivered 308,000 cars. So right now, so on the first quarter of this year, we are at 310,000. So this is just a little bit more than what Tesla delivered in Q4. So how will people react? So how will analysts and people react? This is always the thing. Like I mentioned on the earnings that we showed, even if people reacted well, the stock tanked. So if we go back in the past here, let's look at Q4 2020 versus Q1 2021. So in Q4 2020, 180,000 cars. In Q1, just a little bit more, 4,000 more. So it's not unusual to have Q1 just deliver a little bit, just barely a little bit more than Q4. So this is what is happening this year. This is what happened last year. And if we look past previous years, Q4 112, Q1 88. So there was a little bit of a decline here. So if I remember correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, This was because a retooling, I think, of the Model S and X. I'm not sure, but I think it was something like that. And also Q4 18 was 90,000 cars, and Q1 was 63,000. So yeah, Q1 is usually a less good quarter. So people have spent a lot of money in the past year, Christmas and everything. And in Q1, the car sales are usually not that good. There are a little bit less days also in Q1 because of February, which has 28 days on most years. And also, based on what Tesla mentioned, they could not produce as many cars in China because of the COVID lockdowns that are happening. So all in all, I think that having Q1 on par with Q4 is something that's reasonable. But I cannot guess how the market is going to react. And anyway, when we do technical analysis, we don't try to predict the impact of news, but it's just interesting to see what is happening, and we tend to concentrate on what is happening on the stock chart. And when we do that, we have success. And I don't know why I just cannot show my primary bingo. So because here, if we did not have technical analysis on January 27, we would have bought Tesla shares here, thinking that if we get a good result, the stock is going to go up, and we would have had to suffer all of this thing going down. But because we have technical analysis and we knew at that point that Tesla was in a downtrend, we were going to wait, or we waited for the downtrend to be over and broken until we get in. So basically, technical analysis can help us save our butt. I'm going to say it like this, and pardon my French. Thank you, AR. Thank you, AR. So AR is telling me I'm doing great with this eCam thing. Yeah, this is a great piece of software to do lives, but in terms of user experience, there are some things that you need to wrap your head around. Hello, Richard from the Victoria, BC, fellow Canadian. I love the Rockies. Okay, so from a technical analysis perspective, we are in a congestion zone on the daily chart here. All of our indicators are doing super great. So stochastic, which we love a lot, stochastic is our favorite indicator. And when stochastic is over 60, this means that the stock is moving up. And you can watch it in the past. You can watch it in the past. As soon as it becomes over 60, the stock is moving up. And when it goes below 60, there's a little bit of a dip. Sometimes the dip is just a temporary dip, and sometimes the dip is bigger. So this is why we combine stochastic with support lines to tell us if it's just a little dip or if it's a bigger dip. Like here, stochastic was under 60 right here, and we broke that support, and look at what happened. The stock went from 855 down to 695. So stochastic is really helping us. And when stochastic recovers, and then we also wait for the stock to break a resistance, like here, a resistance, and then stochastic over 60, break a resistance. What happens? Boom, the stock moves. It does not always move this high, but it moves. So there you go. So what I do usually on the weekends like this, and basically this is only for my YouTube members, except for once a month at the beginning of the month, which is right now. So but usually these lives on Sunday, I only do them for my members. So you can become a member if you want to discuss with me like we are doing right now. You know, I'm talking about the stock, I'm reading the comments, and thank you very much. Hit the like, and bingo. And Harry Chu said hit the like. So this is great. I'm having so much fun with these sound effects, and the sound effects are free. Okay, so let's look at the weekly chart. So I also look at the weekly chart because the weekly chart gives us a broader perspective from a technical analysis to see longer periods of time, because on the weekly chart, each candle equals a week. On the daily chart, each candle equals a month. On the daily chart, each candle equals a day. Voila. So basically, if we look at the weekly chart of Tesla, we have a better idea of where things are going. So let's look at the weekly chart. This is the weekly chart. How often can I say the word weekly? So right now, the first thing I'm noticing is that stochastic is over 60 on the weekly chart. So this is great news for long-term Tesla move. So I'm going to put a little green thumb up. So I put the green thumb up when the indicator is showing something that I like, and when it's not, I'm showing a red thumb down. So stochastic is over 60, so that's a green thumb up. So this is the move that we had this week here. So for the past 2 weeks, the stock has been, well, 3 weeks, the stock has been doing super great, bouncing basically on 805 and breaking this downward resistance, this second downward resistance. So the stock is being super strong. But now it's becoming close, it's getting close to this downward resistance here that has a value approximately of 1150. So expect some resistance at 1150 here for the stock. So so what might be happening on the daily chart is that the stock might be doing a little bit of a bounce on 1150, and maybe it's going to go back in, but at least it's going to suffer something. So each resistance is a little bit of a speed bump, you know. So sometimes we see that the stock behaves a little bit differently. It slows down a little bit, or it comes back down from it when it obeys the resistance. Great. So stochastic over 60. We have MACD almost broken over bullish. So the first green thumb up is for the fact that the 2 lines of MACD are above 0. So if you look at it here, so the blue line is at 22, and this is the 0 line right here. Yeah, this is the 0 line right here. Oh, sorry. This is the 0 line, and the 2 lines are above 0. So this is worth a green thumb up. And when the blue line is going to cross over the orange line, this is going to be worth another green thumb up. So I'm still waiting to put it down because the blue line is at 22.22. If you look, okay, my face is there. My big face is there. Okay, sorry. I need to move this away. Yeah, thank you for the comment that I'm looking. Yeah. So if you look here, so the blue line is at 22.22 right here, and the orange line is at 22.69. Okay, right here, 22. Well, yeah, I cannot show it to you because when I move the mouse, it is showing me the number of the day I'm hovering over. So right now I'm on August 16th. So the blue line is 1549 and the orange line is 1385. So when I'm right here, it's 22.22 and 22.69. So anyway, to make a long story short, and let me, where should I put myself? Huh? Maybe I should put myself right here. So yeah, so basically 22.22 is not bigger than 22.69, so the orange line is still above the blue line. So we don't have this MACD crossover, and MACD crossover means that this is a buy signal. Boom. Okay, and RSI, and I should spend. I'm gonna do some video at some point where I will explain each indicator that I am using and how I am using them, because these are not your run-of-the-mill indicators. So the stochastic you see here is not the same stochastic that you can pull off of TradingView or any other platform. I changed it a little bit, so at some point I'm going to do a video for my members where I will explain exactly how I set it up and also how it works and how I use it and everything. So, but RSI, basically, it's a strength indicator. Over 50, it's bullish. Below 50, it's bearish. And I should start putting this green thumb up also here. So let me just start doing it here. So RSI is still good, and DMI, which is an indicator that is a laggard indicator, it takes a long time for it to move, and it moved here on the weekly chart. So from a weekly chart perspective, from an indicator, from a technical indicator perspective, this is doing super great. You know, we have 4 thumb up and only 1 thumb down. So yes, so on the weekly chart, this is a great move too, but we should be careful at 11:55. It's possible that things might be moving down a little bit. So what I try to warn you about also is to tell you what you need to watch for. You know, when a stock is going up, you don't need to watch for anything. You just let it go up. But when it stops going up, then this is where you need to make decisions. Well, okay, well, is it going to come down just a little bit and resume or not? So, so this is why we look at Tesla and Palantir every single day, because we look at stochastic, and stochastic is helping us helping us decide if a pullback is just a small pullback or if it's a new downtrend. And we are also looking at the trend lines at the same time. So okay, so weekly chart, super great for Tesla also. So I like to see this. And on the monthly chart, since we finished the month of March, what do we have on the monthly chart? And sometimes here, TradingView is a great tool, but sometimes things get all mixed up. So here I have 2 green thumb, and I don't want two green thumb. I just want 1. So I don't know why there's an extra one. Sometimes there's a glitch. So we have stochastic over 60 here. So this is great. We have the 2 lines of MACD above 0, as I mentioned earlier, and plus we have the blue line above the orange line. So this is good. So this is why we have the 2 green thumb up, and DMI is also great, and RSI is also great. So this is super fantastic from a technical indicator perspective. We have the same problem here. We have a small little problem also on the monthly chart, is that we have this resistance that Tesla will have to break, and on the monthly chart it's pretty much the same, at the same number, 11:55 approximately. So 11:55 is the first resistance that Tesla will need to break. Then it's going to need to break 12. You know, also on the daily chart we still have the same thing, 12:10, 12:10. So once we break all of the resistance I have been mentioning, then we should start making higher highs, and I'm sure you want to know that number. What is the higher high that Tesla can reach? If we look at the climbing at the bullish channel that we have here, and see how Tesla is obeying to my lines. It's not because they are my lines, it's because I draw those lines where I see the stock change directions. And see, on January 4th, we came to that resistance here, and then we came to that resistance here. So if we come to that resistance here, depending on when we reach it, we could be looking at $1,300 and let's say up to $1,500. So this is where Tesla could be going. This is a weekly chart. This is where Tesla could be going within the next 4 to 10 weeks, let's say. So that's a pretty nice number. So this is from a technical perspective again. Okay, I'm gonna look at a little bit of the comments and answer your comments or questions or all of that to make it a little bit like a conversation. Okay, so watching for, okay, let me go to the first one here. Knowing we don't, salut Serge, knowing we don't know the direction for Monday, what would TA suggest? But TA does not suggest anything until we see some further move, because right now we are in a congestion zone between 1054 and 1116. So everything is super great. So TA does not predict things, but it predicts the change in patterns. And right now the pattern is in a congestion zone, so we cannot see anything. So I'm sorry, but TA does not tell us that. Pattern Mixa, it's very easy getting a member. Yeah, being a member, yeah, it's only $6-7 a month. Ryan Lowe, watching from Guyana. Nice to meet you. Guyana, there's a French Guyana and there's other ones. Need to be educated there. Just look. Okay, I looked at Dave Lee video. Yes, I watched Dave Lee also. US sales GM down. Wow. This is great. Thank you very much for that information. So apparently GM Q1 down 20%. Toyota down 15% because of the chip shortage, I assume, and everything. Wow. So the fact that Tesla could increase its production numbers and its delivery numbers, so this is a great news. So I hope this will translate. I hope this is how the analysts will see this, and I hope this is how it's going to be translated in the news. And I hope that people that are following the news obey that, if it's the right interpretation, and buy Tesla so that it goes up. How low could we go? Okay, we could go, well, the worst case scenario is that we go down to that first channel support right here. First channel support, boom, 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 916 or so. So this is the low that it could go. It could go as low as this, but that would be very surprising because this was basically a fluke. All of this part here, you know, the stock stayed above this double support since March 17, 2020. It stayed for 2 years above this. It never went below, except here on January 28th and also February 22nd, except this. So I treat this as a very special case, and I hope it does not happen again. But so this is why I'm telling you 916. Okay, that was this here. So Harry Chu, in the late cycle, institutional money rotates from value stock to growth stocks as real earnings growth is harder to find. Yeah, well, yes, that's interesting to hear. I don't look at that much. I concentrate on the chart, but that's interesting to hear. Hold my bear. April, the most bullish month. I hope so. I hope you're right. Tesla is poised for 68% year-over-year sales growth. Yes. Yes, Elon mentioned that even without Berlin and even without Texas, Tesla can grow 50% in 2022 without these two factories. And we already know that Berlin is already producing cars. So yes, it should be great. Where else can we find 68% sales growth in this market? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. But we are not going to base our buying decisions based on this. We are going to base it based on the chart, because from from November 5th down to, let's say, March 14th, Tesla was still Tesla was still doing great as a company. So from November to March, let me go back here. November to March. November, yeah, okay, sorry. November to March. Okay, yes. Okay, I thought I could show something here. Well, anyway, forget it. But the company was still doing great, and the stock dumped. It dumped from $1,200 to $800. So yes, what you are saying is right, but personally, and you do what you want, but personally, I'm still going to make my buying decisions based on what I see here. But it's nice information. Thank you for sharing. Hopefully, everybody makes money to buy a Tesla car. Yeah. Is DCA better than trying to time the market? Technical is that yes, I get this question often. Dollar cost averaging is nice if you don't want to have to think, because you just buy every month or every week $500 of shares, and you buy and you buy and you buy. That's fine. I prefer to trade because when Tesla goes up to $1,200, I want to short it. I want to short it and make money on the way down. And so you can make more money when you sell your shares and short when there's a change in trend. So Tesla has been in a downtrend, let's say twice. So this is it. Whoops, this is a downtrend right here, and this is another downtrend. So yes, you can hold on your shares for 6 months, looking at them go down, or you can sell your shares right here, wait until the trend has stopped, and you buy back more shares here, and you get another run like this, and you do the same thing. And yes, this is timing the market, and timing the market is something that's taboo. Oh, you cannot time the market. You cannot time the market. Well, you can time the market. You can time the market, and I'm going to give you a very quick example. If you are using a moving average, I assume pretty much everybody knows what a moving average is. So this is the 50-day moving average. So if you sell when your stock crosses the moving average and buy when it goes back up, you would have sold here, but sold here for a small loss. I'll give you that. And you would have bought back here, and boom, 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 boom. So this is just a brute force moving average, which is one of the least sophisticated way to time the market. So that to me kind of proves that you can time the market with something as brute force as this. Of course, on this channel we are a bit more sophisticated, so we are looking at stochastic. Is it over 60? Is it below 60? If you sell when stochastic goes below 60, you would have bought here. Okay, let me show you this. You would have bought Tesla on November 17, 2020, and you would have bought Tesla at maybe 400 bucks, and you would have held it until stochastic became below 60 right here. So it became below 60 right here at 849. So you would have doubled your money, and you would have gone out, and you would have gone back in here at 7 something, and then you would have sold at 680. So a little loss here, I'll give you that, and you would have bought back. Let me see. You would have bought back. Oh no, so before here. Okay, sorry, around 600 bucks. But this is using only one indicator. Only one indicator. You know, this is pretty much, you know, only one indicator. You could have timed that market pretty good. So this is just a personal choice. I choose to sleep better when Tesla is in a downtrend and I sold my stocks. So here I was happy here because I did not own any Tesla shares and the stock was dropping. I could short at the same time to make extra money. So dollar cost averaging is one way of doing it. If you don't want to think, if you don't want to, and this is not a negative thing. We all have our priorities, and if I do this for a fun, so this is fun for me. So I don't mind looking at the stock, and I don't mind blah 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 blah. So the time I spend here is worth it for me. And if it's not worth it for you, then you can dollar cost average, and yes, you will make a lot of money with Tesla using dollar cost averaging. No problem there. Okay, let me see. Another comment. Does Tesla not have to fill the gap between 1030? Yes. Okay. Yes, it could fill it, but not all gaps need to be filled. Not all gaps need to be filled, and I could go in the past and show you gaps that have not been filled yet and that will never get filled because Tesla is doing so great that the stock is just going like this. So yeah, so this is why I'm not, you know, I don't look at gaps that much, because for a company like Tesla, which is doing super great, when there's a reversal, you can have a gap and that stock price might never come back again. Okay, here it's debatable. So this is the gap that you are talking about. So so this one could get filled if we had a gap right here. Once we broke the resistance, then I would have said for sure this won't get filled anytime soon, if ever. But this one here, I'm going to give it to you that yes, there are some chances that this one will get filled. MB 1050, the bounce, maybe 1050. Yes, it could bounce on 1054. It could bounce on 1000. It could bounce right here to close the gap at 1023. I don't try to predict. I just watch, and then if it bounces, then I'm going to do something else if I want to. Do you expect to fill? Okay, I answered that one. What is your price target of movement pattern for the coming weeks? I did it here. Let me do it again, but this is the price target, 1350 and up. 1350 to 1500. So depending on when we are reaching this, if we reach it here, then it's going to be 1380. If we reach it like this, oh, then it's going to be 1520. So depending on how fast we are reaching it. So if we go super fast, it's going to be a lower target. If we do it slow, it's going to be a higher target. Jaya Ganesh, thank you for your question. I love your country and I love your people. I've been to Pune and to Mumbai and loved it. What's okay, best channel. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. A air horn. Yes. Yeah. 1400. Hit the like button. Well, thank you. What would be the indicator to watch out on Monday? Okay, Serge. Okay, that's a good question. So thank you for helping me orient my speech. So okay, if you want to play the game for if you want to play the game for Tesla on Monday, then I would not look at the daily chart because the daily chart is very slow. So I would at least switch to the 1 hour chart. And the 1 hour chart right here, see, this is the 1 hour chart. So we are at the support at, what's that support number? 1073.95. So 1073.95 is the support. Look at this. Look at how we cannot go past this yet. But at the same time, sorry. This is support right here, and at the same time we are in a downward resistance here. There's a downward resistance right here. So the opening is going to be very interesting to see. So if we open above this resistance right here, so if we open above 1085, if we open above 1085 and stochastic goes over 60 at the same time, then to me this would be a buy signal for me. I would just be careful because we have two resistance right here at 1122 and 1131. So maybe we are just going to go to that level and then come back. So, but that's fine. That's a little bit of profit that you can get from here to here, but it could still continue. So this is what I would look for. I'm going to try to make my answers shorter. Yes, Serge, stochastic over 60 is really important for whatever time frame you are looking at. Stochastic over 60 is always something that you need to use. Jai Ganesh, you are so welcome. Why are you so bullish? Do you believe there is no chance this is a bear market rally? Well, I just judge what I see. Yes, there's war. Yes, there's inflation. Yes, Biden has a hard time reading his teleprompter. So these are all bad news. But from that bad news, or during that bad news, Tesla went from 765 to 1116. So if we concentrate only on the news, it's going to be hard to catch these swings like this because, oh no, I would never buy stocks in a period of inflation. I would never buy stock during a war, blah, 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 blah. You know, if you think like that, you are going to have a hard time making a decision because you will always find bad news to look at, and at the same time you will find good news. So yes, there is inflation, this is bad, the war is bad, but then the oil price is going up, and people like electric cars now more than ever. So people liking electric cars, wanting to save on gas, is that better than inflation and war? So how are you going to decide which news is going to make the stock move and in which direction? This is an impossible job. This is an impossible job. But if you only look at the pattern here, the stock was making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and also here, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and then it stopped making lower highs. It stopped, and it started making higher highs. So the proof is right there. If you see the herd move in one direction, you cannot go against the herd because you are too small and you cannot invest 1 trillion in Tesla to change the stock price. So if the stock price is moving while 27 million shares are being exchanged, the only thing that you can do is follow them, because with your 100 shares, you cannot go against them. So if you see a significant change in trend, we need to get on this and make money, and that's it. And yes, there are news, positive and negative, and I don't know enough to analyze all of the news that can come out, but I just rely on the fact, and the fact is the stock price, because I buy at a certain stock price and I sell at a certain stock price. That's it. This is the fact. The stock price is the fact. The news that can influence the stock price, this is where it gets soft. How are people going to interpret that news? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. But the analysts on TV, they tell us, oh, the stock went up because of this. Yeah, they pick and choose something that is in line with the move after the fact. Anybody can do this. I could do this, and I guess I could have a TV show and make millions because of that. So I hope I conveyed my thinking, and thank you for your question. This is just my opinion here. I'm just a regular guy, and I have been doing this for a long time, and I see that it works. So I cannot help but share my experience. And it's not for everybody, because some people like to have, a target price, and some people like to understand why is the stock moving. Well, it's nice to understand, but it's not necessary. If it moves significantly, then I'm going to follow the herd. Okay. So yes, there's a chance in the bear market, because the stock could be going down to 900 tomorrow. It could. I don't know for sure that but so far the trend tells me that we are consolidating right here, and stochastic is an indicator that tells you the strength in the stock, and so far it's telling us that it's 91 in terms of strength out of 100. So that's super great. It could still reverse tomorrow. There's nothing for sure, but so far this is what I think. Try visiting the channel. Chennai, okay. Chennai. Okay. I ate good food in India. I ate a dessert with silver leaf. A silver leaf on it with actual silver on it. This is great. Bearish in May. We'll see. Did SPY reserve downward pressure yesterday? Yeah, okay, let's look at SPY a little bit, and then we can look at Palantir also. I'm talking a lot. Okay, so yeah, so this is the S&P 500. We had the same downtrend as Tesla, so the whole market was going down, and then we had a break of resistance, just like Tesla, and then boom, we went quite high and then came back down, and now we are stabilizing here. So the big question is, let's watch what is going to happen. We still have stochastic over 60. We have it at 80. So far we don't have any indication that there's a weakening yet. But we have this downward resistance also that we need to break. So much of trading is wait and see. Wait and see. We could be doing this, and if stochastic goes below 60, then it means that this is going to weaken a lot. So stochastic over 60 is so important to take a look at. And if you watch my videos every single day, you will see in details my pleasure what is happening. Jay Powell not here all month. Don't know who that guy is. Unfortunately, the war is terrible. The effect on our economy is quite little. I am more concerned about the potential upcoming recession. It's possible. It's possible. But the recession, we are going to see it here too. The recession won't crawl up on us. We are going to see it before many people. Many people. And I told, thank you. I told my story. I think a couple of weeks ago. I was investing in the stock market in 2000, and everything was going up. Everything was going up. You could buy any internet company, and it was going up. It was so easy to make money. But then I started having a hard time looking for stocks to buy at some point, and I would be getting sell signal on my stocks. So I would sell, another sell signal, I would sell. And then I did not have any more stocks to buy, so I was all cash, and I could not understand what was happening. How come I cannot find any companies that are breaking resistance that I could buy? I could not understand. A couple of days later, there was the dot-com crash. And then, well, at that point, I was in Silicon Valley. I was working there. And everybody around me was like, oh, I'm losing money. And I was like, oh boy, I sold everything just a couple of days before. I did not know that there was going to be a crash. But just watching my stocks, I could see that, oh, no. I was not looking at stochastic over 60 at the time. I was looking at the supports and everything. So stocks would drop support. So then I would sell. It would drop support. I would sell. And then I had sold everything. So I became a believer 20 years ago. I became a believer that technical analysis made me get out before the dot-com crash. Whereas nobody on the news told people to get out at that point before the fact, and did not tell that, well, okay, the stocks are not going good and things are blah, blah, blah. So this is what made me a believer, because I kept most of the money I made from 99 to 2000. I kept most of it. I did not keep all of it, because with technical analysis, you cannot, well, it's hard. It's very, very hard. And technical analysis is not really meant to make you sell at the top, at least with the type of technical analysis that I do, but near the top, very near the top. Voilà. So many things to talk about. Okay. Inflation is quite high, and the Fed could not raise interest as fast as they should to prevent. True. So yes, so inflation is making real things more expensive. So companies and stocks, I assume, get caught in that thing. More yes, you can do the opposite of what people do. I try to do the same thing as they do as soon as they start doing it. because if not, you know, you could buy the dip for a long time. So, you know, I could have been buying the dip here, 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 here. So this is buying high, this is buying high, this is buying high, this is buying high, this is buying low. This is only buying low because it recovered, because the stock could have still gone lower. So I wait until it really changes before I buy, because spotting the actual low is hard, and buying the dip in a downtrend is not a good idea. You can buy a dip in an uptrend. The stock is going up, yeah, buy the dip. Dip, 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 buy it. But in a downtrend, if you buy the dip, you are buying high. And you are buying high. This is a little bit lower than previous high, but still it's high, and you are buying high again, and you are buying high again, and you're buying high again. So, yeah. Okay. Okay, it's always ready on Joe Holiday. Alright, really? Okay. It's always, yeah, me too. I find it funny. Pierre, I'm sure you do not want the new Jim Cramer. Yeah, I don't really watch that guy. $1,200. Yeah, $1,200 is a very important resistance. If drop, it's great opportunity to buy a long call option, so the big whales will not give a chance tomorrow to drop. You might be right. Okay, let's also look at, well, thank you very much for your comments and everything. This keeps this live lively. I could speak all day, but I prefer to talk to people. And when you comment, then I have the sense that I'm talking to somebody. Okay, so Palantir, a great company also, great company. So Palantir has a resistance at 1418. Very important resistance, 1418. It's basically in a big downward channel, but now it's coming out of it. So, you know, there is two parts to that channel, and the purple line is basically dividing the two parts of the channel. So yeah, so now we are coming out of it here. So there's a bunch of lines, and if you want more details, watch my daily videos on Palantir every week, and then you will see all of those lines and understand this a lot better. So here on Sunday, this is supposed to be for my members only, but once a month I open it to the public, like today. So, but every single day, then it's free to watch. So okay, so we are super close. Look at this. We are super close to breaking 1418. Super close. So we had this upward channel right here. You know, we had one here, we had one line here, and we broke out of it and touched 1418, and we bounced on it, and now we are, it looks like we are bouncing on the support, and we want the stock to do this, to do the boom. So it has not happened yet, but this is what we want it to do. And then the next stop is going to be 1782. And then there's a bunch of resistance that we need to break until we reach 23. And then there's resistance we need to break until we reach 27. It's going to be a long and hard way. And then 29.60. And then we can start taking off. So this is what the stock will have to go through. And let me look at the weekly chart for this. So weekly chart for Palantir. So stochastic is not yet at 60 on the weekly chart. So this move has not yet convinced our weekly chart. Then we still have this extra thing here that I'm going to need to do some cleanup. Okay. So yeah, so weekly chart is not yet there. So this is going to put a damper on what is happening on the daily chart. So unfortunately, because if you want your stock on the daily chart to move up, it's going to move up way faster and way easier if the weekly chart also says that things are moving up. So you always need to have the bigger time frame behind you. So it's like you are standing on the shoulders of giants. You know, the weekly chart is the giant and the daily chart is what you are looking at. And the same thing for the hourly chart. So on the hourly chart, things are going to move a lot more if on the daily chart you have pretty much the same signal. So we don't have the weekly signal here. So this might put a damper on the move on the daily chart. So we have stochastic at 23, so that's not very high. We have a MACD crossover, so at least we have that. We don't have our RSI above 50. So we don't have that. Let's just be frank, we don't have that. And do we have DMI still? DMI, we don't have it. We don't have it at all. So I guess this was this sneaked out, but this is the thing here. So so yeah, the chances are not for Palantir that much. So so I would say that even if we have a little bit of a move on Palantir on the daily chart, this is not going to be a nice clean move. It's going to be a move that will go up and down a lot because we don't have the buy signal on the weekly chart. The weekly chart is still close to the resistance right here, so that's good. So that's good, and we are making higher lows. That's good. But see, something like this I can do. So it's making higher lows and higher highs for the past 3 weeks. So this is good. But it needs to do a little bit more to have the weekly chart on our side. And if I take a brief look also on the monthly chart, well, the monthly chart is just, it's just way worse. First, it's a very short chart because Palantir IPO'd not too far, well, in September. So we don't have enough candles on the monthly chart for most of our indicators, so I cannot comment on that. So we seem to have a little bit of a bounce. Well, a bounce, it's not technically a bounce because a bounce would mean that we would be higher than this top of the red candle here. So we should be a little bit higher here, and we are not there yet. We are close to it, but we are not there yet. But at least we seem to have stopped going down, and we are respecting our support at 1128, at least. We are respecting that, so this is good. But well, we have a long way to go. We have a long way to go for Palantir to really take off, and for the monthly chart, you know, we could be looking at a support, at a resistance at around $18, depending on when we are reaching it. $18, $17, $17.75, or lower. If we do something like this, then it's going to be $14.72. So yeah, and the diagonal lines are more important than the horizontal lines to show where the stock is going. Okay, so that's it for Palantir. How long have I been talking? I don't see any. I don't see. Yeah, 1 hour. Okay, so it's time for me to go, my friends. Abel, can you analyze the chart? Well, if you become a member of my channel, then you can suggest stocks for me to analyze, and I do a live analysis on Friday. So Friday is my special request video, and if you become a member, then you can suggest stocks for me to analyze just like you did. So this is going to be it for me today. So thank you very much, guys, and thank you, Ziggy. So thank you very much, guys, for your participation. This was great. It made my life more interesting. So if you want to be part of this live every Sunday, you need to become a member. Today was a special public live. I don't do that often. Thank you, Harry. Thank you. Yes, good luck, everybody. And I also do a Tesla and Palantir video every single weekday. And I also look at the indices at the same time and at the VIX to see, give us an idea of where what the stock market is going. I am up to 2774 shares of Tesla. Well, you have a lot of money, my friend. Yeah, I remember you mentioning that you wanted to reach a certain number, I think 3,000 or something. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you for attending, and we are going to talk tomorrow, and I'm going to tell you à la prochaine.